Okay, so after yesterday, we had the PlayStation 5 teardown revealed, and part of that was that the M.2 slot was shown. So we have a good idea now of which NVMe drives that we should be able to use, and of course, how we install it. It's pretty easy. Take the side off, you got to get that dreaded screwdriver out, and you got to unscrew a screw or two, and then get the NVMe drive in there, and then you got to close it up. There's a lot of stuff going on. Actually, it'll be pretty easy for the most part. Is it as easy as the Xbox Series X? No, that's a card you plug in. That's one of the biggest benefits there. However, on the other side, for Sony, one of the big benefits for the PlayStation 5 is that we will have several choices, and they're already starting to show up before the system comes out. So we're going to go over a few NVMe drives here, but one in particular that's popped up actually advertising itself as compatible with the PlayStation 5. A lot of you have asked me now, which NVMe Gen 4 drive should I be able to get if I want to expand that 825 gigabytes, which in turn will probably be closer to like 670 to 680 gigabytes when it's partitioned and system and all of this. Well, we're going to go over that here today. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Helps out a lot. And if you're brand new here to the SpawnWave Plus channel, hit that red subscribe button down below. Now, I'll be going over a few drives here, two of them in particular right now, and I'll leave links, but I want to caution you that it's probably not a good idea to buy it immediately right now, because I think Sony will be unveiling a list in the next week or two leading up to launch, since we're like a month out now, detailing which NVMe drives should be compatible. But you should keep an eye on these, because once that list comes out, I have a feeling some of these will just sell out right away. What happened today was we had this marketing material come out, and you can see it's from Western Digital. It's the Western Digital Black, broadest portfolio in the industry, and they're going over all of their different storage drives and all of this, right? Some of them very fast, some of them convenient. Like, of course, you have your external drives that would be SSDs, and you can see, as an example, the game drive. It's an SSD equipped inside of a USB 3.2 enclosure. But if we go all the way to the left here, we have the SN750, and then we have the SN850. That is a PCIe Gen 4 M.2. And you can see below, it is being advertised for the PlayStation 5 system, which is good news, because that means that we at least know that there is an NVMe drive out there right this second that should have at least speeds that we can compare to other ones to see if those work for the PS5. Now, this is the page here for the SN850 NVMe, and they have options. So there's a 500 gigabyte, there's a 1 terabyte, and a 2 terabyte. Most people will probably look towards the 1 terabyte, since that is also in line with what the Series X memory card costs. It's $230 for this one right here at the 1 terabyte. If you want to go up to 2 terabytes, it's $450. Now, sometimes you'll see like Amazon flash deals and stuff. Specifically for NVMe drives, it seems to happen a lot. Like, storage goes on sale quite a bit. So that's one that I could see 400 maybe shows up after a month or two when it's out. Maybe like a Black Friday or Cyber Monday deal that could pop up. But we do have options along with, if you want it with a heatsink or without. You do not want a heatsink with your NVMe for the PlayStation 5. It's too much risk and unknown there. And Sony's kind of made mention of that, along with Mark Cerny, saying that some heat sinks on these NVMe drives will cause issue when you're trying to close it. It won't fit right. And I have a feeling that that top latch that you're going to open up, it looks like it's all like metal, aluminum, or whatnot. When you close it, it'll probably have a way to make contact. Maybe it's a pad on the other side so that it can cool this against the case. These NVMe drives don't need active cooling necessarily, or it can leverage the active cooling that's already going through your computer itself when you have fans blowing through it. So I have a feeling this making contact against the case would be enough to cool it. Now, looking down here, they do advertise the sequential read performance at 7 gigabytes per second and the sequential write performance at 5.3 gigabytes per second. These are advertised. A lot of times people will test them and they won't get that. It's usually less. This is like, perfect scenario that they've come up with. So take those with a grain of salt most times. But we do know that the PlayStation 5 has been advertised with performance of 5.5 gigabytes per second. However, that is currently better in terms of write performance that we've seen for, I think, like every PCIe 4 right now, or Gen 4 that we had come across the market right now. So it makes me believe that they will probably release a list even with this card if it's not 5.5 gigabytes, and we don't even know if that is real-world performance for the PlayStation 5 currently, and they are now advertising this Western Digital Black SN850 as being compatible. Now, we do have Sabrent. They've come out with the Rocket 4 Plus that has similar read-write performance, and the other one would be Samsung with their 980 Pro, and that is very close to these read-write performances as well. In fact, that's the one that a lot of people believe to be a good pickup for the PlayStation 5 before today when this was revealed. While I would recommend waiting, the Western Digital Black SN850 NVMe is advertised for the PlayStation 5. It looks pretty solid. They have it on Amazon set up, and most likely you'll see it at places like Micro Center and any normal stores you'd go to buy computer parts. So at least for now, it seems like the one to go with. But keep in mind, this was announced today, like it was just put out there with the marketing material, and there's a good chance that we could see Sony even partner with more of these companies and maybe release NVMe drives that have like PlayStation branding on it, or there's a lot of things they could do there. And I'm very hopeful that with how many are starting to show up with the PlayStation 5 for these NVMe drives, that price will fall quickly. Like, I'm thinking a year from now, we could be seeing like a 1 terabyte NVMe SN850 as an example, this one that is shown to work with the PlayStation 5 being sub $200, maybe on the other side of like 170. So like somewhere around there for this in the first year would be good. We saw something happen like this with the Switch. Do you remember that came out, and memory cards for that, SD cards, were so expensive. If you had that 400 gigabyte card, you spent like $400 on it or something. It was wild stuff. But now that card is less than $100. So yes, I feel like as we go along, and we'll probably get into the next PCIe generation, all of this during the PlayStation 5's life, we would expect that with how quickly computers continue to evolve, yeah, this will probably become fairly cheap over time. So if you can hold off on these, it might be worth it. Just figure out what launch games you'll be getting, and then figure out which games you'll be picking up as things go along. And maybe you can get by with an external USB 3.0 drive that you have at your house laying around now that you can just move games to and then move them back. Maybe you don't mind downloading and then deleting and all this. But eventually we'll get to a point where there'll be too many games out. We'll want to keep some installed, and then we'll make the move towards NVMe. Just keep an eye out for these, okay? Keep an eye on them, bookmark them maybe, and we'll see if that list comes out from Sony hopefully in the next few weeks. Like I said, I'd like to see it before launch, because it would be very weird if Sony kind of just left us hanging and was like, good luck trying to figure out NVMe drives, because that means that people like me will probably be testing them, and we'll just be like, I hope this works for $230. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this one down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.